The Nuggets overcame the improbable last night, winning an absolute nail biter. This is your Denver Sports Daily for December 17th.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Last night, the Nuggets survived the Sacramento Kings, winning 130-129. Now, the Nuggets were up by as much as 23 points in the second quarter, but the wheels just fell off. Coming out of the half, this has been a major problem for the Nuggets all season. They just can't get it going. They get out in the first quarter, the second quarter, they get into good leads, good position to win, and then coming out of the half, they just look sluggish. They look not willing to win. They don't look like they want to be out there playing. Now, despite being down by 10 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Nuggets clawed their way back. And throughout the whole fourth quarter, Jamal Murray was the guy. He's been the guy all season. I don't want to hear any of that hate. You know, love is much quieter than people who are yelling hate at you. Jamal has been playing at a high level these past 2 games. He just got to keep it rolling. But he was the story last night. He played so well. He ended up hitting the dagger with 8 seconds left to win the game. And you know when you see it. You see Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray just running that screen, that two-man. They were literally just handing the ball off for the last 20 seconds of the game, about that much. They were just going back and forth, and then Jamal gets into position, that little elbow shot right there up on the key. Amazing. Perfect. Jumps up, mid-range dagger. We've seen it how many times before? You look back at the playoffs last season. He hit a mid-range shot over Anthony Davis to win the game. He is that guy when it comes to those mid-range clutch buckets. He's a clutch player at heart, and he did it again as he's been doing. He is the answer. He can play at a high level. I don't want to hear hate. I said it. Just stick with him. He is that guy. Now, the Kings did have a chance to win it, but DeMar DeRozan fumbled the ball and missed the game-winning shot. If you saw that, the fear that I had as a Nuggets fan, my heart was pounding out of my chest. It was so hard to watch because they had the most perfect shot. Domantas Sabonis took it right up the middle and then dumped it off to DeMar DeRozan, and it would have been a game. It was a high percentage shot, the highest you can see, and they just couldn't get it. DeMar didn't have a good hand on the ball, so luckily the Nuggets did escape. Now, as I was saying, overall, Murray looked really good. Now, he had his ups and downs, but he finished with 28 points and 6 assists, and what he also did was shoot 4 for 8 from 3. That's the kind of efficiency I want to see, the fans want to see, and definitely the team wants to see from somebody who's being paid so much and who is looked at as a second option on the Nuggets. Now, Nikola Jokic, once again, puts up MVP numbers, as he's been doing all season. He recorded 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 13 assists in his 10th triple-double of the season. The Nuggets have only played 24 games, and he has 10 triple-doubles. That's ridiculous. In total, 6 Nuggets players finished with over 10 points, including the entire starting unit, where Russell Westbrook was starting over Christian Brown because Brown was out, and Julian Strawther off the bench also put up 13 points. Now, with that win, Denver is now 14-10 and holds a 5th spot in the West, and their next game is going to be on Thursday against the Trailblazers, which should be an easy win, but we've seen it before. The Nuggets should have gone and beat the Washington Wizards. Couldn't do that. There are these trap games that the Nuggets are falling into. They can go out and beat the Clippers and the Kings, but they fall victim to teams like the Trailblazers. So hopefully the Nuggets can pull it out and start getting on a good streak here. Now, the Avalanche unfortunately fell to the Vancouver Canucks yesterday, losing 3-1. The offensive play from the Avs wasn't at the same level they've been all season. Now, part of that was because the goalie for the Canucks, Thatcher Demko, played really well. He saved 30 shots and only allowed 1. And then Kiefer Sherwood, also on the Canucks, played very amazing. He's played at a high level all season. He put up a hat trick against the Avs, and that's a lot to come back from. But Mackenzie Blackwood overall played very well. He only allowed 2 goals, as one of those goals for the Canucks was an empty net. But he only allowed 2 goals on 24 shots. Now, the only player to score for the Avs was Val Nichushkin in the final minute of play, where it was basically a worthless goal. Didn't matter much. But with that loss, the Avs are now 18-14 and sit 4th in the Central Division. They'll take the ice again on Thursday against the San Jose Sharks. Should be a good game. And, you know, games like this are going to happen. You're going to go out and lose games. You can't go undefeated. Things like that are really hard to come back from. But you got to take it with a grain of salt, because Mackenzie Blackwood played really well. He did. He played really well only allowing 2 goals on 24 shots. That's a pretty good number. That's a number that I want to have and I want to see when, you go out there and you have so much faith in these new goalies. And usually the offense is better to, outscore somebody, outscore another team when they're allowing 3 goals. I've seen the offense better. It just wasn't quite there last night. And things like that happen. You're going up against a team that has a good defense. Their goalie was really, really he was playing amazing yesterday. So things like that are going to happen. I'm going to take this game with a grain of salt. I think that there's a lot of things that the Avalanche have to look forward to, and games like this are going to happen. Now, the CU Buffs just landed a huge player in the transfer portal. The Buffs have already lost a good amount of players to the portal and will lose more to the draft, but Deion is doing all that he can to keep this ship afloat. And with that, he brings in Alabama's Jaheim Otis. He is ranked as the #1 defensive player in the portal, and he committed to CU. Now, Otis is a 6'5", 320-pound defensive tackle. When I said they got a huge player, I didn't mean he's big for life. I meant he's a big guy. 6'5", 320 pounds coming off the edge defensive tackle. I do not want to be a QB that's up against that. Not to mention he's from Alabama, playing for Alabama, I mean. That is exactly the type of player you want to bring to CU. And just getting players like that, the #1 defensive player in the portal, coming from Alabama, coming to CU, that's the Deion effect right there. That would not have happened 3 years ago. Not even a thought of that would happen. Just incredible the things that happen now because of Deion Sanders. Now, Otis has played in 29 games, and he's recorded 57 tackles and 2.5 sacks. Deion has already added a group of very talented players so far this offseason, and notably, one of those players is QB Julian Lewis, who committed to Boulder earlier this month. That was a huge sign. That was incredibly big. Now with these players coming in, there's more to look forward to than just Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders are leaving. The Buffs have players coming in who are going to be great. There's a lot to look forward to. We have a lot to look forward to as Buffs fans and people who talk about the Buffs. There is so much to look forward to in the future. There's playoffs. There's playoffs next year that the Buffs could be in. There's hope. There's more than hope. There's expectations now. That's what it is. There's expectations. And with these signings, there's not a doubt in my mind that they're going to be better than we could have even expected this year. The Buffs are going to be great next season. They're going to go to another bowl game. And with signings like this, they're just going to continue growing, because who doesn't want to play for a team that has good players already there? And who doesn't want to play for a coach that brings in talent like this? There's just nobody that doesn't want to play for the team like that. The Buffs are going to be great. Now, the NBA Cup Championship is tonight. Unfortunately, the Nuggets weren't able to make it past the group play stage, but the Oklahoma City Thunder will be representing the Western Conference. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks will be challenging the Thunder in the second annual NBA Cup, and Milwaukee's coming in after beating the Atlanta Hawks, and OKC is coming in as 6-point favorites after their win against the Houston Rockets. Now, that sent them to both of those games sent them to the championship. OKC will be hosting Milwaukee tonight at 6:30 p.m. And what I have to say about the NBA Cup, I love it. Big fan of the NBA Cup. I wasn't a fan of it last year at first. I thought it was kind of fluky. Give the Lakers another championship. Yeah, sure. Send LeBron off. Get him whatever he needs. I thought that was a little bit scripty, kind of that feeling. But now I've turned it. I really like the NBA Cup. It's a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. I love the court designs, love what they do with the jerseys. There's so much fan service in it that you can see that they're really making this for the fans to watch. There really is something about it these are the dead times of NBA usually. Nobody's really watching basketball during December, January, November. Nobody's really caring about basketball unless it's Christmas Day basketball. And this has turned it around. This has made this a fun time to watch the NBA. And it's really, I'm really a big fan of what they've done. So I'm definitely excited to see who's going to win tonight. I'll probably be talking about that tomorrow. Hopefully, Milwaukee can pull it out. I'm more of a Milwaukee fan than OKC. I don't think that OKC should be getting any fans from the Nuggets, because they're going to be a competitor with us for the next few years, hopefully. But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'm going to be back with you guys tomorrow, hopefully recapping a win for Milwaukee. That would be fun. And then seeing how the NBA Cup turns out and any other news that comes around. But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'm going to be back with you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.